by definition it means computer-assisted translation tools or computer-aided translation tools. Many times it is also considered as human-assisted machine translation tools. So there are many names given to the same thing. The idea is that it facilitates your work. So when we talk of using technology in translation, we have many tools. For example, we have dictionaries. We have dictionaries. When we do some projects, we make use of it. But traditionally, we have a hardbound, motor dictionary. Fat ones. Many times you find it very difficult to carry it. When you have some technical translation going on. Similarly, we have a big terminology database given by some client, etc., etc. So every in this digital world, we have all gone through digitalization process, and when we talk of promoting translation market of India, as per estimate of Common Sense Advisory, NASCOM, projections on software industry, and then CDAC projections on various types of industries that combines. We have publication, DTP, content creation, design, translation, repurposing, IT, localization. They all combine to make one group, and that forms the translation industry of India. And as per the comparison, we say it has a $500 million market, which is a very big market. And because of the demands coming from abroad, because of the demands coming from the multinationals, or could be future multinationals, the domestic ones, they have started demanding that you follow worldwide used standards or standard translations that we define in terms of CAT tools, computer assisted machine translation tool assisted by human beings. There are many machine translation tools in which there is no human intervention. It is all based on lexicology. We have our expert on computational linguistic, Dr. Malhotra, who will give a lecture tomorrow on how these machine translations work. I'm less interested currently in explaining those details of mathematical calculations. But I, as a user, translator, for example, I would like to show you, one tool that I have in terms of machine translation. And I have, one tool that is called Globalese. This is, offline tool. This is not online like Google or, Babelfish or something. I have a tool that has a dictionary that has, possibility of adding new terms to that dictionary directly. And for example, if you have languages, some combination from English to Spanish, Spanish to English, this particular software has 4 language combinations. So if you have a text, in English, let's say, you just copy paste it. For example, I have, chosen some text for this particular paper. Let's say we have a press release related to our event. I just go through these details, copy paste it, put it into the CAT tool, and give a command. And I say, okay, translate either a whole document or a sentence or whatever, depending upon the options that you have. I want to complete in one go. Translate the whole document. I just say okay, the document. Now it just starts translating. Now you have the output in Spanish. Just copy paste it to your doc file again, keeping into English account, and you can make a print. Nothing is free, it is to be paid. We will talk on that later on. So now you have this, this thing ready. Now you will go through, if you go through these details, many times, newcomers, translators who have not understood what translation means, they do this work. They copy paste, make use of the translation, make this translation and send it back to the client. Client who doesn't know the Spanish version or the target language, he sends it to his own client, making it all happy, feeling that he is impressing his client, that he has communicated in his language. But when the client receives this kind of a translation, they start laughing and they create a bad image about the person who has sent this, because that person has sent something which is very stupid. And that's how the young interns are not paid by the agencies. So to put an end to it, you need to apply your brain, because you have got a language. So now make use of the dictionary that you have, and check all your words, vocabulary which has been placed as per the context, localization, syntax, grammar. Many times it translates your name also. It translates, gives whatever best possible first options available, and then so you have to check, thoroughly whatever the machine has done for you. If you do not have linguistic translation competence, making use of this particular translation tool is of no use at all. It is useless. So if you wanted to avoid typing those things time and again, because there are many translators who are not very smart in typing. Manually they could speed up lots of things. So for them, saving 10% or 20% of time in avoiding typing and doing this kind of editing again increases their efficiency. But I am saying it increases efficiency only when you have the linguistic competence to check this machine translation. If you don't check it and just send it to the client, you are gone. But it increases your efficiency. And more interestingly, it also increases efficiency because by doing editing, you come across new terminology and you keep on adding to your dictionary. So later when you want to refer to something, you can make use of it here. So this kind of a software, has also been produced in India. There are many engineers already working on it. They have varieties in Indian languages. They have, lots of activities going on. But in India, what we lack is the better version, I won't say better version, or more usable or more useful version. What we lack is that we do not have, a platform or a translation tool in which we create memory first from zero, and then we start recycling it. This kind of technology, we do not have what we say the indigenous one. We do have such technologies coming from abroad in terms of Wordfast, Star, or IBM, or Logoport, or Trados, or Hudson, or whatever some that we say. It keeps on coming in, and you will realize that these software, cost a lot. It costs from say 40,000 rupees to 1 lakh rupee, at times 5 lakh rupees as well, and poor translator, probably who had not invested 40,000 rupees in his own career for becoming a translator, has to spend huge amount of money in just buying one software. So this is a challenge that we have in India in terms of promoting translation industry. But keeping aside those challenges, I will focus more on being a clever user of the technology, and that usage comes through one important software which I have found to be more useful and less costly, and that software is called Hudson Translation Tool. They have a professional version that includes translation platform, dictionary editor, as well as win alignment, bundled together costing 10,000 rupees. And if you wanted to buy, something for your own personal usage, it can still get down and be bought, can be bought at 5,000 rupees. Why it is cheaper? Because it has been produced in China, and the person who is giving you lecture has hypnotized them to lower down the price for India, and we keep on doing so. And it is useful in the sense that when you have a document, let's say, I have one document, which has these few paragraphs. What I do is, this particular software has been created on a platform that is called open source. That open source is a platform in which any software can have the compatibility. There are many other software producers of this kind who use their own platform, or some or the other ways in which you have to buy that particular software as well as the platform to make use of it. So it becomes more costly to produce a cheaper version. So but if a software producer is making use of open source system, he or she is in a position, or the company is in a position to produce the cheaper versions, because they don't have to pay royalty and other legal hassles or license thing and agreement, etc. So if we have a Word document, just convert that Word document into RTF. Close that file. And open the software, go to File, and open that RTF file. The moment you open it, it will ask for, do you want to convert it into XLIFF? This XLIFF is again a format of open source. So the document file, which is not open one, the RTF, which is again not open one, is finally get converted into open source to make it compatible. And then just say yes. They will ask you for language, which languages you are looking in, and specify, English, as a source language. Make use of a term database that we have created. Again, quick term database, and then give a command, convert. Once it is converted, you will have the platform ready for your work. In this particular area that we are seeing, this is the area where you work. In this particular area, you have the memory that you have created. Currently, we have not created anything, so we don't find anything there. And this is the area in which you have the target language of the memory. And this is the area where your translation will carry on. If you have the chance of using memory as 100% match, but if you don't have, nothing will come. So what we do is, after we have created this platform, we create a memory. And that we do this thing. I already have a pre-translated text for you, so that just you understand how it goes. You put it here. Now you will see that there are these tags there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 till 22. Why these tags are there? These tags are there because, when we had opened the original file, if you see there is a spot in between two terms. So this particular spot is being identified in terms of these tags inside the document. So this particular document is telling you that you must insert these tags if you wanted, in the final version of your document to come those points, here. So here we will have to put all these tags inside. A person who is not used and tuned to using technology or using these, platform finds it very tedious. It's something. It irritates you. Why do we put these tags? Because you are more tuned to using copy paste or doing so. So here also you can, kind of do those things. For example, you have the option. Just keep on going and put them all, and it will get done. Tag number 2. Tag number 2. You could, just for the memory sake, you could also say approve this particular segment. The moment you say approve, this particular thing becomes part of your memory. So now again, if you have another file, and if you have this particular paragraph coming in that particular file, you don't have to do anything. The only thing you have to do is go to task command and say accept all 100% matches. So all 100% match will come here, and your effort will be the effort that you made in creating your passive memory. You can remember everything always. Is recycled, and then you move on to the next segment. Again, carry on. You move on to next segment. Carry on, carry on, carry on, carry on, and your project is over. And just say, in normal way, Controls S, and the document gets saved. And as you have already selected, the translation TM, it gets stored, and you recycle it, open another file which has similar kind of documents, and say accept it, and it will be done. This is how one platform called Hudson functions. Minus plus, this kind of platform, the other softwares are also using, the same concept. Many of them, you find them embedded in the same doc file. Many of them you find same, working, embedded in, for example, for Wordfast or Trados. Such kind of options you already have. Now, why I have, preferred this one was because of the fact that this particular software is also compatible with Trados memory and Trados files. So for example, if a client is asking you to make use of the memory that they have already, because they have invested time and money and energy in that, but you can't afford to pay 40,000 rupees in buying a Trados, you can buy this software, make use of that memory, convert it back to the Trados form, and send it back to the client. Client will never come to know that you have never worked on Trados. So this is the smartness of this particular software. Now, moving away from what I have been trying to demonstrate you. These are the concepts on definitions. This I will make it live on website and send you a mail if you have already given your email ID, so that you know you have some basic idea about what CAD tool and machine translation tool etc. means, because you know it is again like taking a course in some language and learning ABC first and then starting on some words and then trying to understand sentence patterns and repetitions and then getting into a specific you know, environment in which you start learning language. So if you have been able to understand the basic concepts of the machine translation, human-assisted machine translation, dictionaries that we have, online options that we have, they are all part of CAD tools. You know, if you have started thinking on those lines, probably you have, you know, broken one barrier which exists. It appears to be, you know, big deal, but when you start putting into practice, it is, you know, ABCD of you know, translation. So without, you know, going much into details of, you know, what CAD tool says, you know, these are some of my, you know, observations on pricing. We have SDL Trados, we have we have Wordfast, we have Hudson. You know, these are the popularly known softwares that we have, and you could use all of them for some time on free, you know, without paying anything. You can use for a month, download them, use it for a month, and once you have been able to develop a kind of comfort level in using these softwares, you know, you could opt for any of these.